Hello, I'm your host, Jonathan Miller, and today I'm joined by Frank Ingriselli, CEO of Trio Petroleum, who recently just IPO'd under the ticker symbol TPET on the New York Stock Exchange. Frank, it's always a pleasure seeing you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. A great conference. Always love coming here to Los Angeles and Sequire and all the work that you guys do and with LD Micro. So excited to be here.
I appreciate it. Now, I understand you have a long history in the oil and gas industry.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us a little bit more about Trio and this new venture?
Sure. I mean, I joined as the CEO of this company about 1 year ago, and we went through the process of filing all these S-1s with the Securities and Exchange Commission, but finally got rewarded just on April 18th of going public on the New York Stock Exchange, and it's actually my fourth company that I've done on the New York Stock Exchange, two of them IPOs, and excited about this one. I've been 44 years in this industry, and I just love this process, but then most importantly, I love the process of drilling wells and developing a company, so excited to be here.
Exciting, and no better qualified person to be at the helm.
Well, thank you.
Give us a little bit of information about where the company's based and what the core focus is.
Sure. So the company is based here in California, and our assets are all here in California. So here we're in LA. It's about a 2.5-hour drive going up north. And where I live in the San Francisco Bay Area is about a 2.5-hour drive going south. So they're all in what's in Monterey County in the South Salinas area. And we got 10,000 acres. And we already have 2 discovery wells that were drilled prior to us buying this asset. And just, 3 weeks after we IPO'd, we announced that we just made a major oil discovery on the well we drilled. Wow. And we'll be producing cash from that in about 60 days from today. In about 2 weeks, we'll be announcing what the production rates on that well is. And we expect that with that well and what we announce as an acquisition of another producing property, that will be cash flow positive by fourth quarter of this year. So wow, it's a great asset. I'm glad that I joined it. Again, 44 years I've been in this industry, and from Texaco Inc. to these other companies, but this one is kind of special because it's in my backyard, and looking forward to delivering that shareholder value.
So outside of being in your backyard, what makes the company different or special?
Sure. So
competitive.
So I think, California, don't get me wrong, California is not the easiest place to do business. But, what we are is we're a conventional oil and gas. We're surrounded by other companies with billion barrels of reserves that have produced billion barrels of oil. And we've got a team. What we did was when we started this company, we acquired a team that's been working in California for 40 years. So we've got a history of 40 years, a reputation of 40 years. And what has excited me is that asset, which we already have 2 discoveries and just drilled this discovery, but also the fact that we've got a team that's done it before, continues to do it, continues to deliver value, and now they're working for us at 40 years experience, no blemish on their record. California is an interesting place to do business. It's the second biggest consumer of oil and gas in the country. Yet it imports 70% of its oil is coming from overseas, from Saudi Arabia, Iraq, and Ecuador. And so California needs oil and gas. Notwithstanding all the Teslas, they generate the electricity is generated by oil and gas. So those cars plug into the grid, and that grid is getting its electricity from oil and gas. So it's important to the state. And again, we're doing conventional. We're not fracking or doing anything controversial like that. So it's a great asset. And I think the team that's done it before, that's what's going to drive shareholder value here.
Excellent. And we know with California, some of the challenges, that you may face are obviously political, wanting to do away with the sale of gas vehicles by 2035. What are some of these strategies for navigating around this?
Sure. I think that, I've heard strategies like that over the years, and they never quite come on the time frame that they say. But, notwithstanding that, there's still going to be fossil fuels and a need for oil and gas in California when they import 70% coming in. And it's fine. Go to those electric cars. And, they're going to have to generate electricity to charge those cars. And that's still going to come from
oil and gas.
I exited Texaco 23 years ago, and I was president of Texaco Technology Ventures. And we bought into the environmental energy technology space then. I was investing in battery technologies for electric and hybrid electric cars. And you know what? It complements the oil and gas industry. And so I'm not afraid of any kind of regulations that California has, because I think we're still in the right place at the right time for developing our assets.
Absolutely. And it's not just California. And there's a lot of, would you like to talk about maybe some of the misconceptions around oil and gas? There's this big movement now to kind of demonize the sector. And even though we rely on it so heavily for everything, there's no getting rid of it.
There isn't. No, yeah. It's always a challenge, so I hate, sometimes if I'm at cocktail parties in California, I hate to admit sometimes I'm in the oil and gas industry and I'm developing and producing oil and gas. But I've been facing that from my 23 years at Texaco and then 20 years post-Texaco. That it's never an industry that people love.
Yeah.
But they love to use their cars. They love to, cool their houses. Energy and oil and gas is used in every part of our life. And so you got to just deal with the negativity and work with it. And work to show that you're going to do it in an environmentally safe and ethical way. And we're driven by that. And our team has been doing this here in California for 40 years. That's what they're driven by. So we'll take the negative press, but, we'll march on.
Most of these people don't even realize that pretty much 99% of their consumable products come from crude oil.
Yeah, it's just amazing.
It's a fascinating ideology.
It is, absolutely. So we're happy to be in the industry, and we'll work through any challenges. But what comes first for us is shareholder value, and so we'll deliver that as I've demonstrated in my prior startups. So we'll do the same thing here for Trio Petroleum.
Absolutely. And can you tell us a little bit more about the IPO, maybe some of your investors that are back in the company?
Sure. So we completed that on April 18th, and we got a diverse investor base from not just the United States, but we got people from Australia, people from Canada, and of course, North America. So we've got a mix of retail, like about 50% retail and 50% kind of institutional buying in on the IPO. So we've got about 20 million shares outstanding. We've got a market cap right now of $40 million, and we've got a pristine balance sheet. So no debt in the company, which I really like as a startup. So we have no debt. When we did our offering on the New York Stock Exchange, there were no warrants attached to it. So it was a pure common offering. So we're excited about that.
And what's the capital allocation strategy look like? Are you looking at expanding more wells, more areas?
So what we're doing right now is we've got this discovery. We'll start producing from that in 60 days from now. We're going to drill, as we promised the marketplace, we're going to drill another well just like this one on the same oil field and the production from that. And then we're going to do a continuous drilling program. But we also announced that we acquired this other producing asset, which is located in Bakersfield. So that'll add to the cash flow of the company and the ability to do more of these drilling and develop the company. So we're excited.
Sounds like a great story. Where
Thank
can
you.
investors go to find out more about the...
Sure. So just come on to our website at www.trio-petroleum.com, and we've got everything there, everything about the company and the team.
Fantastic. The company is Trio Petroleum, CEO Frank Ingriselli. Thank you so much for joining us
Thank you. Good.
today.
Thank you so much. Thanks, John. Thank you.